Hey everyone, welcome to week 7. You might still be finishing up items from week 6. Try to get finished with that rough draft as soon as possible if you have not already done so, if you haven't submitted it yet, because it's going to be needed for this week. I will be looking over your drafts this week as well, but the whole purpose of having me look over your draft is so that then you can make some revisions, right? So that's what this week is all about. So once you take the week 7 attendance quiz, then you'll have access to everything in the week 7 module. The first thing will be a brief review of week 6. A lot of grammar and mechanics lessons in there that you may or may not have looked at. You may have been more focused on getting your rough draft typed up. But just know that those lessons are there in week 6. And if you need to go back to them, they'll still be there. And there might be a few that you need to go back to. Maybe not right this minute, but at some point while you are working on revising for the final draft. The only lesson that you have this week is on the revision process. So there'll be a video there where I go through the PowerPoint on the revision process, and there's a ton of useful information in that lesson. And then there'll be a link to the PowerPoint under the video in case you would like to look at the PowerPoint on your own, download it, whatever. The homework for this week, you have Journal 7. Of course, there'll be a video in the instructions explaining what you need to do for the journal. And then you have the peer review assignment, which is why you need to get that rough draft finished if you haven't already. Because the assignment for week 7 is to do a peer review. This is it's not a complicated assignment on the one hand, but on the other hand, there's a lot of steps to it. So please make sure that you watch the video in the instructions for the peer review assignment. Make sure you understand exactly what you're supposed to do with your own draft and what you're supposed to do with the draft you receive from one of your classmates and how you're supposed to go through the peer review. There is an attachment in the instructions, the peer review worksheet. You will need that because that is what you will need to fill out as you're going through your classmates' rough draft. Then there's instructions on how to submit that, what role I'll be playing in all of it. So please make sure that you read the instructions and watch the video before attempting to do the peer review assignment. And then, of course, there's the week 7 discussion. There'll be a video in the prompt explaining what you need to do. Try to have your first post up by Thursday. And don't forget to respond to 2 classmates before it closes Sunday night at 11:59. So that's what's in store for week 7. Again, try to get that rough draft in. Not only do you need it for the peer review, but I spend a lot of time going through each draft. So the later you wait to get it turned into me, the less time you're going to have to make revisions before the final draft is due. Alright, so if you have any questions as you're going through the material in week 7, doing the assignments, please reach out to me. And, I'll do whatever I can to help. I will probably play a pretty big role in getting drafts to and from people for the peer review. But certainly if you run into any issues, let me know right away. Otherwise, you're free to go ahead and get started.